Hi everyone, it's Julie from Heart to Hand, and I'm here to share a project I've been working on. It's my December Daily 2022 project, and this was actually designed by Kathy from Paper Phenomenon, and there is a tutorial available for it. The name of the tutorial is called December Daily 2022 Album and SVG Bundle, and I'll leave a link in the description box below if you're interested in taking a look at it. But anyway, this is my take on Kathy's project. It's a really great tutorial because it not only comes with the cutting guide with all the measurements in it, step-by-step videos where Kathy takes you through how to make it, even shows you how to mat your project. There's also printables in there, as well as a fantastic SVG file that you will need a cutting machine for. If you don't have a cutting machine, you can still make this project. The SVGs are purely decorative, so you might have stamps and dies you could use instead, or print your own and hand cut them out. But you can certainly still make the base album without a cutting machine. But the SVGs are great, and I'm going to show those to you as I go through and show you what I've done. I've made mine quite rustic. My color scheme this year is blue and green, which is really unusual for me, but I've gone with blue and green, and this sort of suited my color scheme. So I'll let you know the paper collection I have used is by Kaisercraft, and it's called White Christmas, and as you can see, it's got these beautiful blues and greens, and it has that sort of rustic feel as well. This is the 12 by 12, and it comes with a sticker sheet on the back. These borders have come in really handy as I've been matting. So far I've used 2 of these 12 by 12 paper packs. That's a look at them there on the front cover. And I've also used the 6 by 6 matching paper pad as well. That's come in handy for matting too. And I'm going to be using the embellishment pack that comes with it, the little collectibles and all the embellishments. As I go along day by day, I'll be opening that and using that. So I'll talk to you about what I've been using as I come to it. So the album size is 9 1/4 by 7 1/2 inches, and there is a 2 3/4 inch spine. So it is a nice size album to make. So I'll show you the back's very plain. So the back I've just matted. There it is there on the back, and I have used Hessian. Overseas you might call this burlap. It's the same thing. We call it Hessian here in Australia, so Hessian burlap. And then on the spine I've just used one of those stickers I showed you in the paper collection, and I've actually mounted it up so it's a little bit dimensional. I don't know if you can see that. I've used some corrugated cardboard here on top, and that's actually by Kaisercraft as well. This is it here. They sell 12 by 12 corrugated cardboard, and that's really nice to work with. And I kind of wanted to have a bit of a shabby, rustic, layered look on the front cover. So I've got that underneath. That's here, and I've ripped some of the paper away to reveal some of the corrugated cardstock. And this gold that I've got here, that's the Tim Holtz foundry wax, and I've used statue for this. So it gives it a nice gold look. And then I've just layered some gauze or cheesecloth, you might call it, underneath. I've got some paper here and the paper collection, and then this frame is part of the SVG file that comes with the bundle, the tutorial bundle. So this picture is out of the paper collection, as are the sentiments as well. This come out of the 6 by 6 paper pad. These here, the Kaisercraft papers are great. They've got, you know, the little piece you trim off the bottom? They have all these lovely sayings on them, so you can actually use them in your album, which I really like. And I just put some metal photo corners on the front as well, just because I had them in my stash for ages and decided to use them. So my cover it's a chipboard cover, but I've covered it completely with some 100% cotton homespun fabric that I've tea dyed. So that's the edge of it is actually fabric that I've used. So the spine is nice and strong because it's fabric. So, and then I've just added a couple of charms on mine as well, just keeping the real true meaning of Christmas in mind. So that's the front cover. Now when you open it, I hopefully will get this all in frame. Yes, looks like I am. You'll see straight away this here is one of the beautiful SVG files you get, and you not only get the part that I've cut in the glitter paper, you get the shadow behind it as well to cut, and you'll also get the reverse, so you can stick them behind and cover up all the ugly glue, particularly on this acetate. So that's really awesome as well. So that's part of the SVG file. I've actually used craft cardstock throughout the body of my album, and I've used 3. Again, I've used Kaisercraft, so they're 12 by 12. Kaisercraft's 12 by 12 craft is actually quite thick. It's 260 GSM, so it gives you quite a chunky album, which I really like, and it is very sturdy. So I use that for the main base pages, and then in the A4 they have I'll use this one first. They have this one, it's a bit lighter, it's a 220 GSM, it's more like your regular cardstock, and I've made all the flips and pockets and things out of this one, so it's a bit lighter. And I've also got the A4 in the 120 GSM, and this is more like paper, so you can print on this, and where I've wanted lighter weight pages, I've used that as well. So it was really nice having those 3 weights to work with. It was really handy, and they were all the same color craft, so they look really good. So on the front cover, there's two stacked pockets in the front cover. Now these are part of the printables that you'll get. Kathy didn't design these, she got these from another website, but she's included them in the tutorial for our convenience, which is really nice. And also there's this cool like letter you can print off. That's pretty cute, isn't it? I printed on both sides. And I've actually printed mine, as you can see, on that craft paper, so I can keep the craft look. And I'm just going to keep those in the pockets for extra room to write. And as you can see where it says here, it's the most wonderful time of the year here. This was on the end of one of the papers, and that's what I mean by the borders that you can cut out and actually use. Really, really handy. And I just love these deers. I just love them. They're so beautiful. I've used again the hessian or burlap on my spine, and as you can see the spine's not attached, and that's because Kathy has used what she calls a pop-up binding platform. It's such a cool, as you can see it here, it's such a cool way to bind an album so that it sits flat as you're opening it. And you'll learn how to do all that in the tutorial. She shows you how to add that binding. So just to give you a bit of a flip through, so this is the acetate, and again I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Well, yeah, here in Australia it really is a dream. We tend to get quite hot in summer, we don't get the white Christmas, so yes, we have to dream about it. So that's from the edge of the paper as well. So this is on acetate. Now this page here, this isn't part of the tutorial. I've added that in simply because I wanted to cover this where I've joined my acetate on. I wanted to cover it, but also when I laid my December on top of my envelope, it just got lost a little bit. So I put a page in there just so it has something to rest on, and it really pops up because I love it so much. So this was an added thing that I've added into mine. And I've left this page blank because I'm going to put a picture of my Christmas tree here. Because I put my tree up, believe it or not, at the end of October. So I've already got my tree up. I've already taken my photos before December 1st. So they're going to go up front and center. This is what Kathy calls the Y envelope. So it's just an envelope that you can put inside here, maybe a letter as to why you're keeping the December daily. What your purpose is in keeping one, which I think is really nice for your family maybe to read at some point in time. And this calendar is part of the printable that is included in the bundle, and these again were off the paper. And then we come to December 1st. So here it is here. So we get these numbers come in the SVG file. Now this glitter, I'll show you what I used for mine. It's actually it's called Copper Shimmer. So it's by Francheville. I got it from Spotlight if you're here in Australia. This is it here. It's 12 by 12. It's called Copper Shimmer, and it is kind of a copper, but it's also blends well with gold. So I think it's in between a gold and a copper. So it's kind of like a dark gold, and it just blended so nicely with the craft paper. It was just lovely. And then the cardstock that I've backed it with is a Kaisercraft cardstock. It's here, and where is it? There it is there. The name of it, I don't know if you probably won't be able to see that. It says Shadow. That's the name of the cardstock. I thought that went really well with the paper collection. The other cardstock I've used by Kaisercraft is one that's called Frost. And all I've cut out of that is some trim on one of the SVG files, and I'll show you that when I come to it. So they're the two things I've used there. So in day one, it's actually December 3rd as I'm filming this. So this has been and gone. So I have in here, this is actually what I've included in day one, is the Christmas cards that I actually sent out this year. I kept one, and all I did was I just matted the envelope because it was white, and just going to include it in there. So I know which Christmas card I actually sent out this year. So I've kept that in there in this pocket, and I've done piece matted it because I wanted to use some of my scraps, and that's a way you can do it. And then it's hidden in there anyway, so you don't really see it. So that opens up room for photos or whatever. Now Kathy shows you how to do this. These are plastic photo, what do you call them, holders, is it? I'll show you what I have. I've got mine from Kaisercraft as well. Pocket pages they are. So Kaisercraft make these. They make them in, it's for 6x6 photos because that's what I will be printing, is 6x6 photos. And you can get the horizontal or landscape, and then they also make them in the portrait as well. So they're pretty cool. So I've cut those up and use them in my album. But in the tutorial, Kathy teaches you, if you just have the plain ones with no sections in it, Kathy teaches you how to make your own, and in fact custom make them. So if you have smaller photos, she shows you how to make these to suit whatever photos you have. So that's really cool as well. So I've included one in here because I know on December 1st I'm going to put all my other photos of my Christmas tree in here because I already have it up. So I wanted space for photos. In the tutorial, Kathy shows you how to mat your project so that you can add photos after the fact, because being a December daily, we don't know each day how much room we're going to need. So, but I knew I was going to need them that day, so I put them in. So that's day one. Now you can see as I'm opening this, the reason it's not just sitting flat like that is because I've got my fabric on the binding here, and also my cardstock is quite thick. But normally when you use a regular cardstock, it does sit nice and flat because of that binding system. So I'm just going to hold mine. So day two is here, and there's a little flap here with a little pocket here, little pocket in the side, and it flaps open, and I've added just a little belly band here to add whatever I might like, whether it be a photo mat or what have you. So day three, I've pretty closely followed Kathy's instructions. I have added and changed a couple of things here and there just because of my paper collection. So I'll move this back in frame. So day three, that's today. So it's just got a pocket for maybe put a little booklet or something in there would be cool. And you can see that you get the reverse of the numbers as well. So when I've stuck this on, not that one, but this side, I've left it not glued here. So if I want to put a photo here, I can tuck it in underneath and glue it down later. So how cool is day four? This is day four. It's a beautiful acetate envelope, which I just think is gorgeous. I love this. Is an SVG file. You get the frame as well. You get the number 4 that you cut it all out on your cutting machine, and it's a lovely pocket to put you know, a photo mat in there as well. So I haven't got anything in mind yet because I don't know what's going to be happening tomorrow. So so there's those. Now you might notice too with these closures, these are the closures Kathy's chosen to use throughout. I have on this one, I have brads, and then on here I have eyelets. So I've kind of just swapped it around as I felt I needed to. So you can use either brads or eyelets for this type of closure. So that's day 4. Day 5, this has a big side pocket here. Sorry, I didn't show you that on day 2. It also had a big side pocket here. I didn't show you that. So day 5 has a big side pocket, and it has a pocket here as well, and a pocket here too. Day 6. Now day 6, I did this because I accidentally cut out both the letters and the number 6. And I didn't want to waste them, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to create 2 tags for that day and label them both 6. So that's why mine looks like that. And I've just made these tags, and again, just to use the scraps, I've just sort of half matted it, and I haven't stuck this down, so I can stick a photo in underneath there if I want to. So I've done 2 of those tags. This is a little bit different to Kathy's. She's done hers a bit different to mine. But like I said, I wanted to use that. Kathy did a cool, with her paper collection she cut around it. So that inspired me with the paper collection I was using to actually cut some of it as well. So I've cut parts of this collage paper up, and there's, I've cut this tag as well. So they form little pockets that I can put bits and pieces in on day 6 as I need it. So, and then we go to day 7, and this is a little side pocket here, which is really cute. And then day 8 is a piece of acetate. How nice does that look? I love that number 8. And there's a pocket here as well. Day 9. Did I make that? Yes, that's a pocket in there. I've just matted it that way. Now this I wanted to show you. Day 9, this is just plain, this page. In the tutorial that Kathy does, she keeps that plain, but I know I'm going to need, on day 9, I know I've got something on, and I'm going to need some extra photo space. So what I did was, I wanted to show you how you can actually add extra photo real estate if you've already stuck your matting down, so you're not able to tuck it in. What do you do? Well, what I used, and it's really good to have these on hand, is I've used some of these cards and envelopes pack. This is, let me see, that's in millimeters. Let me just see. I think it's just, it will fit a 6x4 anyway. I know it fits 6x4. So what I did was, and you can see this is like a photo mat already made, so you don't have to make it. And then with the envelope, all I've done, this is the envelope here. So all I've done is I've taken some pattern paper and I've just stuck it on here like that, and I've trimmed it off like that. So that's the envelope underneath. Just trimmed it off, and then you just glue it on 3 sides and stick it down, and then you have, straight away you have all this room, extra room for photos. So this is the card, and I've just matted the front of it just so it looks pretty, and then you've got room to put photos. So I've left that unstuck here so that I can slip a photo in under there if I want to, and I've just matted the envelope. I've just matted that and then pop my number on. So if you have these handy, you can very, very quickly add room for, there's a journaling card there, and for some extra photos. So I just thought I'd mention that's what I do. So day 10 is kind of like a little folio, really, isn't it? Looks like. So it opens up like this. And now on day 10, I know I have an event happening, and I know I'm going to need room for photos. So I actually added my plastic sleeve in there, knowing I'm going to have photos, and I've also left this unstuck so I can stick some more there. So that's day 10. How pretty is this Christmas tree? It's such a peaceful scene, isn't it? There's just something so peaceful about it. I love it. So that's day 10, and I've used the brads there. These numbers are lovely, aren't they? So day 11, we have the large pocket as well. And Kathy has used acetate pages in hers, and she had a lovely piece with beautiful gold spots on. This is the one I could find. I picked this up from Spotlight, and it's so pretty. It has stars on it. Let me see, I did keep the packaging to show it to you. Here it is here. So again, if you live in Australia, this is from Spotlight. It's DIY shop, gold on acetate it's called, by American Crafts. So yeah, the pack has that one sheet of acetate, and as you can see, I've used almost all of it because I just think it's so pretty. Now, when Kathy did it, she had two on the one page, so she had one here and one overlapping. But when I did that with mine, because it was so busy, it was just too much. So I shifted one over to this side, just to break it up a little bit, and put my day 11 star, and it just so happened that the SVG file happened to be a star. That was just luck, really. I hadn't planned that at all, and there were stars on the acetate, so there you go. And then day 12, again, a beautiful little SVG bauble that's attached to the acetate. But there's those beautiful deers. How beautiful are they? I love them. Day 13 is just one of these little, what would you call this? I don't know what you'd call that. That's just some flaps that you can put things in. So that's really cool. That way. And I got this twine from Spotlight as well, if anyone's curious as well. It's sort of that Hessian look with the gold in it. And then that flaps out as well. Day 14 is a cool pocket. How cool is that? To put a tag in. That's really nice. Then day 15 is this beautiful tag that I've put acetate in the center of. That's really nice, and again, it's reversible, and I just added a tag behind it there. So you can see this album has lots of potential. There's lots of plain pages to add what you'd like. Now check out day 16. I mean, how cool is this? Kathy's just a genius. The things she comes up with, only Kathy would imagine putting a Rolodex inside an album, but I love it. I just love it so much. So it actually opens too. Check that out, look, it opens. So this one says Merry Christmas. Again, all SVG files. Oh, what fun. And then you can also make just plain Rolodex cards if you want. But isn't that a genius idea? I just love it. I've used, what have I used here? What I've used there, let me just grab it. Where is it? Here it is. It's this. It's texture roll, Sizzix texture roll. It doesn't, you can't tear it. It's just such a sturdy sort of material to use, so that's why I've used it. Kathy shows you a different way. If you don't have this, don't worry, Kathy shows you how to make these, but because I was using the craft, it just went well, and it was just quick and easy to do, so I added that. Also a side pocket, side loading pocket in here. I've just added this flap in here because I know on day 17 I'm going to need some photo space, because again I have an event on, so that's just a photo mat I've added, and I've added my sleeves in here. They're the portrait ones I've added in here. So there, that's day 17. Day 18 is this little cool little flap opening. I have added again one of my envelopes that I showed you before how to do, because again I know something's happening on day 18 and I wanted a little bit more space to put some photos and maybe some journaling as well, so that's why I've added that in there. But you can, this is what's great about this album, you can add things wherever you would like. Day 19, again a cute little pocket. Day 20 is just a, sorry, I was out of frame then, that's better. Day 20, and I've made this, just matted it, so that's a little pocket in there as well. I could slip a journaling tag if I wanted to. So day 20, oops. Day 21 is just plain. There's a side loading pocket there, but you can see when you just mat it, there's just so much room for potential. You can add whatever you want depending on what's happening that day. Day 22, I really like this setup. This is a belly band, so you can slip something in behind there, and there's two pockets here, stacked pockets on day 22 as well, and then just kept this side plain. Day 23, again we have a side loading pocket here on that beautiful Christmas tree, and then this beautiful SVG file is a little Christmas tree, so cute, and I've just added some fabric up here with the gauze and just some trim as well, and I've just used a pin and pinned that there. Depending on what I do here, eventually I'll probably just stick this down, just attach it, because that is actually quite fragile just here. Kathy actually laminated her one so that it won't break, but I think what I'll do is just, once I decide if I'm going to have a photo or whatever, I might just stick it down here so that it doesn't swing around, but I'm keeping it there till I know what I'm doing with it. And then look at this beautiful SVG. I love this so much. This is where I use that lighter color cardstock I was telling you about. Oh, what fun. How gorgeous is that? Now I've added this onto, I've just added this flap myself, and I've kept this free so I can stick a photo in under there. I've also added some photo pockets in there, because I know that's Christmas Eve, I'm having a dinner at my place, so I'm sure I'm going to have some lovely photos of that evening. And then this beautiful acetate pocket, how beautiful, again an SVG file, and the number is actually on the photo mat, and that pulls out, and I've matted behind it as well, so that's really pretty. And then last but not least is Christmas Day, day 25, a huge 25, and I've decided to pop my 25 onto the acetate I bought and make a belly band out of it. There's also a side loading pocket, so, and I just wanted this paper left as it is, so I've still got plenty of room to add whatever I want for whatever is happening on Christmas Day. And you can see, if I hold it up, you can see this is part of the binding system, pop-up binding platform, but you will see how to make that in the tutorial. So that is my December daily for 2022. I now need to start putting my photos in from day, because today is the 3rd of December, so I'm behind. I need to start adding my bits and pieces and my journaling in here, and I just love this project so much that Kathy designed. It's a beautiful project, and it's actually quite simple to do. It's a simple concept, which means you can embellish it however you like. So I hope that's given you some ideas, and I really hope that you're doing a December daily as well. I'll catch you in the next video.